Right, we're now on page 916, recording bills in QuickBooks Online. As mentioned previously, bills are created for those vendors and suppliers that extend credit to you. In other words, you can make purchases from certain vendors on credit. They will send you a bill later and payment should be made before the due date. Stellar Cleaning Services provides housekeeping services for all of Larry's properties, and we'll show you how to record this bill next. So we want to navigate to the Expenses Center from our navigation bar to the left, and we're going to click on the Vendors tab. And next to Stellar Cleaning Services, we want to find that in our vendors list. We're going to go all the way over to the right and we're going to select Create Bill. And our Create Bill window opens up for us. Stellar Cleaning Services is automatically in our vendors drop down. Our bill date is going to be July 1st of the current year. Bill number is going to be 98765. Property is going to be Texas Properties. The description for our housekeeping services is going to be housekeeping services for July of the current year. Tab over to the amount, and that's going to be $1,000. Tab over, and it inputs the total. And we want to click on the arrow to the right of Save and Schedule Payment and select Save and New. And this will open up a blank bill window. And it wants us to complete the fields for Stellar Cleaning Services for our California properties. So our vendor, again, we want Stellar Cleaning Services. You can see it automatically inputs the terms for us that we set up when we entered the vendor. Our bill date is going to be July 1st of the current year. Bill number is 98766. This is going to be for California properties. And again, housekeeping services for July of the current year. Tab over to the amount. This is going to be $2,100. Tab to update the total and balance due. And we're going to hit our drop down arrow and select Save and Close. So bill 98766 has been saved. As you can see in the image, the overdue status bar and the open bill status bars have been updated for the two bills recorded for Stellar Cleaning Services. And in addition, the total open balance column has been updated as well. So you can see Stellar Cleaning Services now has an open balance of $3,100 that we owe them. So we have $3,100 for two open bills, and we have one paid in the last 30 days of $450. And we had two journal entries that were recorded behind the scenes in QuickBooks for these two bills. The first one for the Texas properties would be a debit of $1,000 to our housekeeping services expense account, and also an increase of our accounts payable, what we owe, what our company owes. So that's an increase with a credit of $1,000. And then for California properties, it would be an increase of our expense account of housekeeping services with a debit of $2,100. And to balance that out would be an increase with a credit of $2,100 to our accounts payable account. All right, next we're going to pay bills in our QuickBooks Online. After entering bills into QuickBooks, you will need to pay bills prior to their due date to maintain good credit history with your vendors and suppliers. So next we're going to take a look at how to do that. From our plus new button in the top left hand corner, we're going to select Pay Bills. Our Pay Bills window opens up for us. You can see we have, now these are going to show as overdue because of our dates that we're working with. Don't worry about that. But you can see we have two bills that are due. They're both from Stellar Cleaning Services, 98765 and 98766, which is for $1,000 and $2,100. And we're going to go ahead and pay these. We're going to click the box to the left of Payee. So if you wanted to select individual ones to pay, you can click on the check boxes next to them. If you want to pay all your bills at once, just click on the box next to Payee and it automatically checks them all off. And our total payment amount should update to $3,100. So that's the total of these two bills together. And at the bottom of the screen, you will see a calculation that takes the current balance in the business checking account less the total amount of bills to be paid. We actually do not get this in our new QuickBooks Online update. It only shows the $3,100 that is to be paid. We don't want to schedule the payment. We want to click the drop down and we're going to save and close. And two bills are marked to be paid. And a journal entry is recorded behind the scenes. Accounts payable is reduced with a debit for $3,100, so we no longer owe that to anyone. And our business checking account is reduced with a credit of $3,100. So since we paid that, our money is reduced with a credit. All right, next, page 923, recording bills. Follow the instructions below to create two new bills in QuickBooks Online. Create a bill for Stellar Cleaning Services to record housekeeping services for the month of August 2021 for the Texas properties. Use August 1st of the current year as the bill date, 98767 for the bill number, and $1,000 for the amount. So let's go to our Expenses Center. Make sure you're on your Vendors tab. And next to, this is for Stellar Cleaning Services. Find them in our list here. And we're going to create bill. Our bill date is August 1st of the current year. $98767 is going to be our bill number. And this is for housekeeping services. Our description we want to be for August of the current year. Tab over to the amount, and that's going to be for $1,000. And this is for our Texas properties. Right, so just double check that everything is correct for that. 1,000. All right. And since number 2, we want to create another bill, we're going to go ahead and hit Save and New. And our vendor is going to be Stellar Cleaning Services again for number 2. Bill date is August 1st of the current year. The bill number is going to be 98768. This is going to be for housekeeping services for August of the current year, but this is going to be for the California properties. And the amount for this is going to be $2,100. All right, go ahead and hit save and close on these. And it tells us that after recording both of the bills, the total expenses should be $6,650, of which $6,200 is categorized as housekeeping services. In addition, profit and loss net income should be $29,475 as shown. So if we go to our dashboard again, we don't have the business overview section anymore, but we have $29,475. And here we have the $6,650 for our expenses. And if we click on that expenses, you can see the housekeeping services does show as $6,200. You wanted to double check that. All right, and it says do not proceed to the next step unless your profit and loss is $29,475 and your total expenses is $66.50. If your totals don't match, calculate the difference between these check figures and what your totals are to help you research the difference. All right, now that you know how to track expenses and bills, we will show you which reports to run to help you stay on top of these transactions.